improvisation is the most engaging, the most exciting form of expression that I have ever experienced. As a teenager just starting out on this journey, I always loved the way improvisation was learned. I love that process. But above all, I love the outcome, which is what the listener feels when hearing high-quality improvisation performed by highly skilled musicians. In terms of its effect, jazz is very organic in nature, natural, not plugged in, pure. Jazz improvisation not only requires good musical skills, but it also requires an exceptional creative ability to tell a story that exposes and expresses our deepest feelings about life without speaking. I'm fortunate to have a rich and wide circle of friends, visual artists, writers, actors, filmmakers, as well as social scientists, lawyers, and teachers. Through these friendships and through listening to their stories, along with a vivid imagination, I've developed fascinating projects throughout my career. I started to think about how jazz could fit into a new medium of expression. I envisioned live theater and live music with the addition of moving imagery viewed on multiple screens. I wanted to combine artistic mediums with jazz in a way that had never been done before. And most importantly, I wanted this new work to serve as a vehicle for change. Change that challenged hardwired beliefs, assumptions, feelings, and notions about race, class, and culture. Technology figures powerfully in the change I seek. To say that technology has virtually changed who we are is an understatement. Instinct methods of communicating, computers, cell phones, texting, emails, tweeting, Instagramming, while wonderful, have profoundly altered the way in which we perceive and receive each other, and as a natural consequence, how we perceive and receive art.
I received a grant, a Joyce Award, where I was able to work as an artist in residence at the Tri-C Jazz Festival, which is located on a community college campus in Cleveland, Ohio. There, I was able to explore and create work that dealt with the nuances of class, race, and culture in ways that had never been done before. What I want to show you are 3 stories out of 8 of these stories. These stories deal with the subtext nuances of people that you may not even consider. So, I wanted this work to create a common ground in new ways that you have never thought of, so that we can get along much better with each other. And here is our first clip.
The only reason a Heights boy like myself would go down to Scoville was for bootleg liquor. My friends and I went down about once a week. Bootleg liquor might have gotten me down to Scoville, but what kept me coming back was bootleg barbecue.
There was a man who lived next door to me whom I was very afraid of. I never really saw him, but every day he just looked out of his window by bending his blinds down to where I could only see his eyes. No one ever dared to go near him. He never had any visitors, no friends, no family. He was always alone.
freckle-faced little girl to pass Jefferson Park because I didn't belong there. They used to say I wasn't the right color to be around there. Now, I grew up on 137th. It was okay for me and my sister Paula over there, but Lord knows we couldn't walk up Bel Air to Jonisha's house or even up to 110th, Sierra's grandma's house. It just wasn't safe. And my best friend Dennis, he was black and white. He grew up on 129th in Lorraine. Imagine the trouble that that mixed boy and that white girl had walking into each other's houses. See, people get so wrapped up in being mad that they don't even know what they're mad about anymore. The whites hate the blacks, and the blacks hate the whites, and the browns hate the yellows, who hate the reds. It's crazy. How can you possibly hate somebody based on color? Racism isn't born, it's taught. And this just led to generations of hatred. People are just pissed off because their parents were. And that anger just leads to people fighting each other to find their own identity.
Crossing Bridges is the impetus for my new work called Decisive Moments. And I would like to share with you now the education component that goes with my multimedia ideas. After Crossing Bridges, I was asked if I could create a work for teenagers who had learning challenges because they suffered from physical, emotional, and psychiatric issues. What I discovered about teens is that if you ask them what music they listen to and why, they will give you an earful. So, what I want to share with you are 3 of their stories in a multimedia setting.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Beth, what are you doing?
I'm putting on speaker. When was my injury? When did my injury happen?
Your injury happened January 25th, 2013.
My great-grandmother raised me. She was kind to me, nice. If I had a bad day at school, she would talk to me instead of yelling at me. She spoke to me in a calm voice. She gave me a sense of hope. She made me feel cared for. She really loved me and taught me right from wrong. She taught me how not to hold grudges. She taught me not to be mad all the time. She taught me how to care for others. Like if someone was crying, she taught me to ask them what's wrong. She never gave up on me. I was in foster care since I was 2 years old. I was in foster care for 6 years before I lived with her. I lived with her for 2 years. She took me and my cousin in when I was 6 years old. She passed on in 2008 when I was 8 years old. She made a difference in my life.
Depression is sadness. I used to be in a deep, dark state. That was me last year, 2015. Depression can happen when you miss someone being there. 8 months ago, I was in a wheelchair and could not walk. 8 months I spent living in a hospital. I never thought that one day I would lose feeling in my whole body. I felt myself slipping away so many times. I got incubated. I woke up when they were doing that to me. And no child should ever have to feel that way. I have a disease called GBS, Guillain-Barré syndrome. It's a disorder in which the body's immune system attacks part of the peripheral nervous system, which caused me to lose feelings in my whole body. To make things worse, my parents don't get along. They had to take turns visiting. Often, my mother wasn't able to be with me. And, I was used to her being there with me, seeing her every day. but I understood on why I couldn't. Like, how would you feel if someone you love told you that they were slowly losing feeling throughout their body? The PTs, doctors, and nurses, they helped me so much, and they don't even know me. I feel so much better, and I feel so grateful because now I can walk again.
Here's my process for teaching. First, I would have each one of my students choose a piece of music that they loved, that they could relate to personally. They had to analyze the pieces of music. Every class I would record, and from those recordings, I would develop their narratives. Their narratives are recorded with their own voices. The next step is that I had them go online and choose still and motion imagery. So all these photos that you saw, they chose for their pieces. They're not of who they look like. So after that process, I taught them how to create music from the software GarageBand, where they created music and sound for each one of their pieces. And we came up with this. Now, at this point, and one more thing. We had a stop motion animation artist who also added this element to their work. So the technology and the creative ingenuity around these pieces are pretty interesting. So here are just two more.
I slept for 2 years and I didn't even know it. One day I woke up. I thought it was the next day. My mom's face was in shock. My mom thought I was going to be gone. They rung up the church and they prayed for me. My accident was a stroke. I lost memory. I have short-term memory loss. My mom says I'm a miracle child. God's child, she says. I feel happy about that.
Listen, I have so much to say to you. A million questions left unanswered about things you used to do. Hear me out now. For just one time in your life, can you tell me why you hurt me, why you handed me the knife? Cause I'm bleeding, veins are open, stitching wounds all along, hoping there's a way out of this hole. Unless you're staring at the wall. How come every time I fall and every goddamn time I call, there's no one to pick me up and tell me smile, stand up tall? I've been beaten left or right, I've been kicked while I was down, but no one has the right to tell me I can't wear a freaking crown. Every girl's got a story that can make a person weep, cause the queen does not have power if its meaning isn't deep. Woo!
One more child that I want to share with you. This child suffered from a stroke, which left him the inability to speak. Before his stroke, he was participating in a training program for teens who might consider firefighting as a career. This is what I discovered. While he could not hold a conversation with you, what he could do is sing just about any popular song that you hear today, word for word, in a very, very decent sense of pitch. Here is his story.
I need another story, something to get off my chest. My life is kinda boring, need something that I can confess. To all my sins I stay red, from all the truth that I've said. Come by it honestly, I swear. Thought you sounded weak, no, I've been on the brink. So tell me what you want to hear. Something that'll let go ears. Sing all the insincere. I'm gonna give all my secrets away.
So thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed us. We'll be playing a small concert down the hall in a few minutes. If you have any questions for us, you can ask them. Thank you.